This question is primarily about the ways to join two independent clauses. During the most important part of this question, we see an Elvis taxon is not the real thing. It is a misidentified lookalike. Now, perhaps more important than the right answer here is the idea that you should know that if you have two independent clauses with just a comma between, that's a super important error called a comma splice. A lot of people call it a run-on, and we used to call it a run-on as well. But a run-on is when you have the two independent clauses with nothing in between. When you have just the comma between, an Elvis taxon is not the real thing, comma, it is a misidentified lookalike. That's something that people do a lot in everyday life, but it's just not okay in an official situation like an SAT or a research paper or a test. So that right there is our comma splice. Now we have two ways we can join two independent clauses. We can say an Elvis taxon is not the real thing, semicolon. It is a misidentified lookalike. That's not being offered to us. Or we could have a comma fanboys. An Elvis taxon is not the real thing, comma, but it is a misidentified lookalike. So the comma fanboys is also not offered to us because we need the comma right there. We can't just have the fanboys. That's just as bad as just having the comma. So right now we're down to answer choices B and D, and this just has no punctuation at all. So why not just separate them? It's not the real thing. It's a misidentified lookalike. So although it may not be what most people had in mind when they first saw this question, separating them apart as two separate sentences works as well. So the answer here is D.